Forget what you learned in school. Never mind what your parents told you. Disregard what your friends say. From now on, the only people you need to listen to are these guys. For the next several minutes, they'll take you on a journey through the political jungle. When your journey is over and you're safe at home, they promise you'll be stronger, smarter, and just plain better. So buckle up, hang on to your ears, because your journey starts now.
Welcome to the At Odds Show. I'm Brian.
I'm Nate.
And it's July 27th.
Yes, it is.
Wow. No, it's not. It's June 27th.
Wait, yeah. No, it's the 28th.
Say, wow, the summer is really flying by.
It's June 28th.
It's June... Damn it. It's June 28th. And,
let's just go with July 27th.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit... Yikes.
I do know this.
Okay.
It is someday.
I think, yeah, I agree with that.
I think today is a day.
That's what we've been told, anyway.
Anyways, so here we are. It's another Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're live right now.
Is it standard or daylight? It's standard, right?
It's Eastern Time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's
Middle
daylight.
Eastern Time.
Well, that's like tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Or yesterday.
Tomorrow.
Something. Okay.
I love you tomorrow.
I don't know.
Tomorrow's
it's not.
A day away.
Let's see. There we go. I'm ready. You ready to start the show now?
All right. It's June 28th, 2018. We're in the Freedom Studios on the 15th floor of the Patriot Towers in Liberty City. We're at, Nate?
Cleveland, Ohio.
We are in Cleveland, where the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is just down the street from the studio. Have you been there?
No.
I haven't either.
Yeah. And we're not going on this trip either. We don't have time.
We don't have time, but being a geologist, you'd think I'd go to a rock Hall of Fame.
Because being a geologist, you wouldn't realize that it was not actually rocks, that it was rock music.
We're not smart people. I mean, my God, we chose geology.
Do any of your geology friends listen to this? Oh, never mind. That was a dumb question.
A couple have, I think, and never will again.
Oh, so you do have some geology friends.
Oh, see, you tricked me. I have coworkers. I don't know.
I mean, some would say you're my coworker.
I wouldn't say that.
But that, well, right. That's true. The balance of work is a little off.
I try not to associate with you.
Right.
In any form.
Yeah. I've noticed.
Let's see. We got pretty, I think, an interesting trivia question coming up around the break.
It's easy.
They're all easy. And we have a This Day in History, of course.
Of course.
Was out in the field actually doing quasi work, so I didn't have a lot of time to do a lot of prep.
You look
stuff,
like
so
you got a little sun.
I got the first day I was burnt to a crisp.
Yeah,
and I was uncomfortable.
Something that geologists have never figured out is that you should wear some sunscreen.
Right, and I had sun 50.
You had it with you?
Oh yeah,
but you didn't put it on.
No, I didn't because we're tough.
Which day was that? Was it
Monday?
Was it sunny or was it like overcast? Was it? I don't remember.
Really sunny and
I spend my days inside.
My arms. So I did put on sunscreen, but it was like at 3:30 in the afternoon. It was
okay.
But the next day, Tuesday, it was overcast. But I still, you're not gonna fool me, Mr. Sun. I know you're up there, and there's still radiation coming down, even though it's cloudy. So at 8 o'clock, I put on sunscreen,
especially through those holes in the ozone layer.
Yeah, it's really bright through that.
Yeah.
It's like a spotlight coming down. And then I reapplied again at noonish, and I didn't have nearly the problem. And I used some hand lotion.
Okay, with aloe?
No, it was just whatever was in the hotel. It was pretty cheap.
Okay, and that helped.
I took a shower. I washed off all the sunscreen, and I put the lotion on its skin. And I felt a lot better again. So what I'm trying to get to is this is going to be. We're not going to have
this day in history is about the sun, or what? What are you talking?
No, what I'm saying is, It's not going to flow like it usually does.
Hang
how
on.
smoothly our
Hang
show
on.
goes.
You're saying that we should make the assumption that since you didn't have time to organize the prep,
right?
that it didn't get done?
That's what I'm saying.
That's absolutely true. 100% accurate.
So I threw a bunch of stuff at the prep page to see what would stick.
And it all stuck.
It all
which
stuck.
is weird.
Some is going to be stickier than others. But this scares me a little bit. Well, I don't know. I guess you could look at it one way or the other. There was an election upset that sort of made the news there in New York.
Oh, this is good news.
When that
It's good
26-year-old
news.
socialist Alexandria Cortez, a former campaign organizer for Bernie Sanders, pulled off a stunning upset in New York, where he beat 10-term incumbent Joseph Crowley.
10 terms, man.
10
I mean,
terms.
that's a lot of years.
It's 20 years.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And he was, I guess, hoping to take Pelosi's position or whatever her position used to be. What was it?
Speaker of the House,
or
right?
something.
But no,
Not Speaker of the House. It was minority.
in the Senate,
Yeah. No.
in the House.
He's a representative. Yeah.
How many branches of government are there?
I don't know. It's very confusing. When they wrote it down a couple hundred years ago, they got some stuff right. They could have done better on some other stuff.
Jeez.
But mostly they were drunk and had syphilis affecting their brains.
It's perfect, and not a lot of penicillin.
No, hardly any. You couldn't get much penicillin back then. Franklin should have been working on that.
Anyway, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a
Nice-looking woman.
Not a closet Marxist like most Democrats.
No, not just
she's
saying a
like
Democrat.
out in the front, like she's totally out Marxist.
She ran as a Democratic socialist, but I bet, and I've heard her say, she's dropping the Democratic.
Remember when?
She's just saying.
Remember
flat out
when
she's a
Bernie
socialist.
Sanders said that? Bernie
Democratic.
Sanders was a Democratic
Right. Well,
socialist.
that's where she got it. She
Totally
worked for
different,
him.
of course. This is great news, though.
She's not going to win.
There's no way. There's no way. She can
I don't
garner
know.
enough support in the Bronx
Yeah, where there's a lot of liberal socialists
to
sucking the teat of the government.
yeah. She's not going to win, though.
That's good.
I don't know how big this district is.
I don't know either, but really, as a 28-year-old nice-looking woman, she really should be home having babies and cooking dinners.
Like a good socialist
Like
wife.
a good socialist wife should do.
Oh, that's terrible.
No, I honestly believe that's where women should be, is having babies and cooking me dinner.
No surprise.
Making me a sandwich.
No surprise. She's running on a platform of everything free for everyone, open borders, get rid of
everything.
immigration enforcement.
Which is great libertarian, as long as the government doesn't have to pay for any of that. We'll save a lot
Well,
on the
it's not
border.
libertarian at all. I mean,
Well,
she's
I mean,
talking
she's
health
small
care,
government.
She's talking a living wage.
Oh, she wants to do that.
It's not small government. It's
really?
It's
It's
huge
bigger
government for
Oh.
everyone.
I thought she wanted to get rid of ICE. That's getting rid of.
Yeah. But still free stuff for everybody, which means even more people because you don't. I mean, you wouldn't have.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you saying? Wait a minute. Maybe I don't understand what a social is. She's saying that everybody gets free stuff,
Yeah.
but she wants the government to pay for it,
Oh, of course.
and we give all the money to the government that they spend.
Well,
So
yeah.
she wants me to give it to them. Is that what she's saying?
It's kind of like socialism.
Oh man, I gotta relook at the definition.
You going to move there to vote for?
Well, no, I don't think it's such a great idea.
Oh, you don't like
tonight.
it anymore.
Yeah, I was all on board until they started saying that.
Well, I mean, hell, I want everyone to have good health care too.
I listened to somebody. What's I can never remember his name. The
Rush Limbaugh,
Indian guy, Duash Diash or whatever he.
Dinesh D'Souza.
D'Souza with the tuba. He did all the marching songs and stuff. D'Souza, because there's the D'Souza phone. And so, but he'd really be old by now because
D'Souza
he's been around a long time.
It's not a D'Souza phone.
Somebody
It
asked
should
him.
be.
Somebody asked him, well, what isn't it bad that the Republicans are always voting against women and yada yada yada? And he says, well, you're talking about abortion, right? And yeah. He goes, abortion is not a right. I don't find it anywhere in the Constitution. He says no matter how no matter how you parse it, he says I don't think it's a right. But let's say it is. Let's say it's a right. It's right up there with the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, and the Fourth Amendment. The difference is, why should the government pay for abortion right when they don't pay for me to have a gun, or they don't pay me to publicly speak, and they don't pay me to build churches, or they don't build my churches for freedom of religion, all on. So he had a point.
I totally agree with that. I've thought
so he deflected it away from whether it's morally right or morally wrong.
100% agree with that.
But he used it as a practical government.
100% agree. But like I said before when we were having...
That's not new.
We just put that there.
Okay. I just wanted people to know.
I'm not used to doing this show with microphones.
I know it. We just usually talk really loud.
What's all this stuff in front of me?
And I hope people hear us.
What was I saying?
Right.
I made this point when we were during the whole Obamacare debate. This is kind of a tangent of what you're saying.
Back.
Yeah. You remember those times?
Pepperidge
Does anybody
Farm
miss Obama
remembers?
yet?
Nobody does.
Nobody. Anyway, I think it's a losing strategy to focus on abortion and whether we should be paying for abortion or not.
It should be what instead?
Healthcare in general and rights in general. The point he was making, but why would we pay for healthcare when we don't pay for guns? I think abortion's a losing.
He's put that in there.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. It was just a point, and you distracted me, and this microphone came out of nowhere.
Damn microphones.
I know, it's ridiculous.
All right. So good for her.
It's on a shock mount too, but apparently when you hit it as hard as I hit it, it doesn't.
It was
matter.
It was not like on a Richter scale 8 earthquake shock.
Yeah, we should get better ones. We should reinvest.
So we could broadcast during an earthquake.
Yeah,
still come across clear.
I have to get them for our chairs too. What are you falling into a hole?
I've been in an earthquake. It's scary.
Yeah, me too. Really I guess. I don't know. Not a bad one, but we have them in Michigan every once in a while.
The ground was going like this.
What?
Like waves.
This is audio.
Well, we have video now too. Dink. All right. So earthquakes are bad, Kay, and it's caused by homosexuality. I just heard that again the other day.
I heard you were driving for a position in Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh God, I love them. Somebody posted something on that just before the show, and I had to respond.
I'm sure
they're not real Christians. I think, okay, you mean they're not your sect of Christians?
Well, sure.
What is a real Christian?
All right.
Soccer is racist. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay, we're done with that. Let's see, who was it? It was some...
I mean, there's the balls. You never see red on them.
Oh, didn't I not put who it was? It was some Hispanic...
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, okay, so
Hope
it was a
Solo?
Hispanic... Oh, here, yeah, Hope Solo, former U.S. women's team goalie, and she's Hispanic, and she says that one of the reasons, not that they sucked, but one of the reasons men's national soccer teams fail to qualify in the World Cup in Russia... The U.S. team, men's team in particular, is that soccer in America is a rich white kid's sport. She said the sport in the U.S. is too expensive. Let me finish, because too expensive for Latinos, African American, and rural kids to play.
Okay.
Adding that if she was a kid today, her family wouldn't be able to help her advance in the game. I don't know how she got there then. Because she said, if she was a kid today, so she was a kid 20 years ago and somehow afforded it, but she couldn't now? I don't get that reason.
Maybe,
but I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you where she's wrong and why.
Okay, tell me.
One of the reasons soccer is so popular all over the world is it's because it is cheap. And all you need is a freaking ball and a little bit of open space, and little poor kids, black, white, Chinese, Puerto Rican, everything, play soccer. And they can play in a dump. They can play in a parking lot. They can play in a small yard. They all chip together and buy a small soccer ball, and that's all the equipment they need.
That's all you need.
That's all you need. Now, if she had been talking about ice hockey, I would say, yeah, maybe it's a rich white person, because there's a lot of equipment involved. You have to pay for ice time.
You need ice.
That's an expensive.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Football, not as expensive. You still pay for a lot of equipment. What do you pay for soccer? Shoes and some shin guards.
Okay.
Generally, the uniforms are provided by little leagues. All right. The other thing is hasn't been that popular in the United States, so it hasn't built up a strong support system and fans. Right. People. I mean, I can remember 10 or 15 years ago at our high school. You know, they want to get a soccer team. And they're like, that just takes kids away from playing basketball and football.
Yeah.
And a lot of a lot of minorities play basketball and football because they view that as a more likely path into the professional leagues and a chance to get out of poverty. So they tend to focus their energy on that, because even the crappiest football player makes 5 times more than the best soccer player in the United States professionally. So she has not analyzed that very well. She's just talking bullcrap.
Okay.
I know you agree with everything I just said.
I will say I agree with some of what you just said, but having had a child who played soccer, I will tell you it is damned expensive.
Why?
I don't know.
Why is it expensive?
Because the registration fees are ridiculous.
Well, that's because they can only get 6 people to freaking sign up in the league.
And they need to be able to buy
if you have
jerseys.
100,000 kids play, and they only have to pay $10. You have 3 people pay, and they have to pay $100,000.
It's a supply and demand thing. I absolutely agree with you. The league.
The point is, they don't need to join leagues to play soccer.
Right. You don't have to, but I mean,
you don't have to do it
in this country.
You want expensive? Go into figure skating or go into hockey.
I get it, but I mean, if you want actual coaching and like training, you're going to pay for it.
Right? You could have a lot of volunteers who love soccer that would be willing to spend their time working with kids. It happens all the time.
I don't. Yeah, it does happen, but it's not the majority of kids. But it's no different. Expensive. But it's no different than football. I mean, you join a team to play and practice football. You don't get to go on the street corner and find some awesome football. I mean, Vince Lombardi's not waiting to coach you.
Right. And how do those minority kids afford it?
It's the same. Yeah,
I think it's
because of
more
the popularity of those sports in this country. And you know what? Maybe do something to get soccer more popular. Well, we don't like it.
One way would be to reduce the cost of playing soccer.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Well, you're a fool to
it's
have paid it then.
Does she play soccer anymore?
No.
Okay. Learn that lesson.
She's a hell of a softball pitcher. How much does that cost you?
A lot.
Oh, come on.
A lot.
I don't know what you mean by a lot.
Hundreds.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, of course.
Why would you pay hundreds of dollars for any kid?
Between equipment,
I don't
and the registration fees and being on the competitive team, that costs extra for that. Yeah, it's expensive.
You're getting milked. I wouldn't spend that much on food for the kids or medical care.
I know you wouldn't. I know. It's the difference between me and you. It's the only difference between us. That's it. That's the only one.
There's a lot of difference. I think she's wrong. I
agree she's wrong.
The reasonings are wrong.
But
all sports can be expensive.
I'm telling you, I paid way too much for a 6-year-old to play soccer. Yeah, is what I'm saying.
That's on you.
It's insane. Well, of course, but I think what she's saying is true. To play in an organized manner in a lot of places, it's expensive.
But you don't have to.
But there's only a couple. There's only a couple soccer organizations. Right. I mean, there's a few of them. There's a million baseball, softball, rec football,
and somehow poor kids get to do that. Who's paying for all of the kids coming out of Puerto Rico and out of the South American countries coming in and playing baseball in the major leagues? Who's paying for that? And how much does that cost those poor minorities? Well, they're not minorities down there, but my point stands because they, one, love baseball, two, that's a chance out of poverty. They want to make it to the big leagues.
Maybe we should,
even though that's a very long shot, it's still better than making it as a professional.
Maybe we should be a little more like North Korea or whatever, and just like choose are professional athletes.
Well, I think I think we do that.
That's what they do.
And if you have anything to do about it with our discussion on AI, we could just create AIs to play professional sports.
Why would we?
Why wouldn't we?
We will.
Yeah, well,
that will happen.
Why wouldn't we?
But I don't know that it'll completely replace people doing it.
Now, this is dated for all the old people that listen to our show. Hi, Bill. It's just one.
One old person.
One old person.
And his Bill.
Yeah.
And he didn't know he was old until now.
Now
so.
he's like, God.
Sorry about that.
I remember the Jetsons, the TV show about the future, right? Are you familiar with the Jetsons?
Of course I am. How dated are you talking?
Well, that's from the 50s and 60s, or at least the 60s.
No.
I remember they went to see a football game, and it was all robots. It was great.
Yeah.
I am going to score a touchdown. Anyways, that's how robots talk. We did that already. All right. Anyways, solo, I think you're solo on your own for this. See what I did there?
I don't get it.
Solo is one, isn't it? She's solo on this opinion.
I don't get it.
Okay. I was listening to NPR, my favorite TV or radio station, and I was listening to, I don't know, Studio 1A or something, and it's a very urban, well-educated gay black man who's the host, not that it matters. And he was talking about, the topic was civil discourse in the United States, in particular politics, and how, how we've gone away from that. People want to kill each other now, and it used to be you could have a civil discourse.
How long are you going to keep this up?
Maybe until the next year. I'll talk like this.
I will quit.
That's the plan. And they had a socialist, liberal, snowflake woman on there who was going to discuss civil discourse. And the first thing she says, I'm not here to discuss civil discourse. I'm here to have a revolution. And I think we should use violence and we should kill all the honkies. She's a white woman, she admitted. And get rid of all this white power.
This was on NPR?
Yeah.
Really?
And get rid of all this white privilege. And there's a time for talking, and that's past. We're having babies being separated for their mamas at the border. We're blah, 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 blah. And some of the stuff she said wasn't even true. It was just to get a rise.
Sure.
She was horrible. She was not civil. She didn't want to have discourse.
Right.
And the other people were like, huh. Even the host had to kind of jump on her and say, hey, well, it's my show. The topic is civil discourse.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, you can leave.
Jeez. You don't know who it was?
The woman?
Yeah.
I could probably look it up, but
it's not worth it.
No, I don't know. I don't think she was any prominent name person.
Oh, okay.
She was group, some Antifa group or something. But she wasn't wrong in the fact that that's the mindset of a lot of these liberals now, is that the time for talking is over. We're not getting any. What it is we don't have any power anymore.
That's exactly what it is.
And so we want to have a tantrum. Now, they discussed when civil discourse and civil disobedience were actually good strategies. Martin Luther King had civil disobedience and had protests and stuff. But
I don't remember him calling for violence.
Right, and he had a goal, a fairly specific goal.
Yep.
A lot of the people on the left have no general goal. They just hate Trump. They hate Republicans. They hate everything about everything, and they don't concentrate. And they brought up ACT UP, which was in the 80s, I think, and it was for AIDS awareness.
Yep.
And they did disruptions. They would go out and block traffic. They would block government buildings.
Darn you, Reagan.
But it was discussed, and I agreed. They did bring about change, but they had a specific goal that they were trying to push and accomplish. When you just want to beat somebody up just because you disagree with everything about them, then that's going to fail, and you're going to be destroyed, because there are a lot of people that aren't going to put up with that and fight back.
Yeah.
And you sure as hell don't need a representative, Maxine Waters, telling people to go out and do exactly that.
Yeah, I mean,
why is she still in office?
Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I don't
she
know.
Was saying go and
if
people's homes.
If you see anybody from the cabinet, Trump's cabinet, in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. You push back on them. Tell them they're not welcome anymore anywhere.
That's what they did to Crowder, Steve Crowder. I saw a video where he was at some kind of convention, and there was a woman that he recognized was there, and she had posted pictures of his van and where it was located, and to burn him and his van up and stuff.
Jeez.
And he went over there and said, and he had pictures of snapshots of her Facebook page and stuff.
Yeah.
And all she did was smile at him and videotaping, But everybody came around and they started like bump chests and get out of here. We don't want hate. And she said, well, a van isn't a person. He goes, what if my people were in there?
Yeah.
Van's not a person. We have health care. We want health care. Then they just started screaming. And then it got to the point where they were getting violent. They were trying to provoke him into physical contact. And, of course, the police came and they escorted him out, not them. So.
Yeah, right, of course. You remember when he got punched?
No, but I probably would have punched him at some point.
It was the in Michigan, the Right to Work rally.
Oh, yeah.
At the Capitol building.
Capitol. Mm-hmm. I guess he's no longer in Michigan. I thought he was in Michigan at one point.
I really don't know.
He's a Canadian. And I thought he lived in Michigan for a while. But I think he's out wherever he's...
Whatever. But anyway, I mean, it's...
So let's see.
The problem is how hypocritical
no peace,
it is.
No sleep.
Right?
No peace,
I mean,
no sleep.
That's the problem, is how hypocritical. Because what they're saying is they're holding these love Trump's hate signs and bigotry go away and violence is not the answer.
Peace
and
is
love
the answer.
And peace. And then they're literally saying attack Trump supporters.
Doing the opposite. And how can you respect any kind of political movement, any kind of ideology that does that? I would respect them more if they were just always violent and they didn't propose peace and love and harmony and good things.
That's kind of my point.
Just be...
At least that's what they're about.
We want to kill people. Okay, I know where you're coming from now.
Yeah. I don't... I mean, what do they think? I don't think that sort of thing
I think there's a disconnect.
I don't think that's garnering more support for them. I think it's a losing strategy.
I don't think so. And that was brought up in that NPR station. The people one person brought up and said, on both sides, there's more people that disagree with you, about the violence and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They don't want to see that. There's more people that do that, and I think that's true.
It's the Democrats are losing everything, and I think they don't know what to do.
They're afraid. They
don't know what to do.
They have no good. They have no good platform. They have nothing to offer anybody. They've been preaching the same thing since the '60s, and it's carried them well. But that's starting to fall apart now as more minorities are becoming more conservative. Because I think the curtains come down on what the Democratic Party is. Not saying the Republicans are angels by no means.
Oh yeah, I mean,
but of the two,
absolutely,
I think you gotta choose. And I'm not saying there isn't a time for disruption, that there isn't a time for civil disobedience.
Well, you talked about some times where it might make some sense.
And violence. This country was founded on some of those principles. The Boston Tea Party and protests in the streets and throwing snowballs at British soldiers until they shot back and stuff like that.
But it was not because the other party was elected into office and you don't like what they're doing, so you immediately resort to violence.
Yeah, because there was no party, really. I mean, there were parties, but it was the king.
I mean, that's the point. We have an election coming up this year, and then in 2 years we have another chance to get a new president.
Right, and that was brought up as well. It's not like dictatorships, right? The politics and these things come and go, and they're yin and yang, and they go back and forth. It's like a pendulum. But I don't remember in my 60 years it ever being quite this bad and this divided.
Yeah.
And I lived through the 60s, and it was pretty nasty then. But even the most liberal Democrat was pretty moderate by today's standards. So,
well, I mean,
I think Kennedy probably would have been a Republican.
Who's to blame for that? I don't think Trump is to blame.
Oh, no.
I mean, it's the media. I don't know. I don't know who else to point the finger at.
Right-winged evangelicals were mentioned.
To blame for the divisiveness?
The beginning of it with Reagan.
Oh, I don't think so. I think everybody kind of came back together in the 90s. I don't think it was
maybe.
I think the situation with Reagan was very similar to what we have now. I mean, people hated Reagan for a lot of the same reasons they hate Trump. But I think now
they're both good actors and they won Emmys or whatever.
I think that's what it is. Yeah, good hair.
I don't think Reagan ever won an Emmy.
Did Trump win an Emmy?
Yeah, for a show.
That's weird,
isn't it? He can put his Peace Prize plaque right next to his Emmy.
You think he'll get one?
I don't see how he can't.
Oh,
I don't know who's in the running.
It's totally. Why, does somebody get it every?
I think it's every year. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous. I don't like awards that are like we're going to give this out no matter what. I think that's the wrong way.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there have been. I'm not a Nobel laureate expert.
Yeah, well,
there may clearly there may have been times when they said, mathematics, nothing. Nobody did anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're not giving it. They might do that. I don't know.
There's haven't been any good advancements in physics in a while.
Not since the 30s. String theory, but you can't prove that.
Well, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about... I don't know, do we still have to talk about Border Patrol? We'll talk about the Supreme Court. That's going to be good. But I think before we do that, I'm on the edge of my seat.
For this week's
well, mostly because that's just how I sit.
Right.
Yeah, the trivia question.
All right.
I'm ready.
This one is across the pond question.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Japan?
So, not that far of a pond.
Oh, okay.
The little pond. Just the
Lake Michigan?
North Atlantic.
Oh, got it.
All right. So,
tally-ho.
Which daily power-up treat have all British tanks had since 1945?
What?
Okay, which daily power-up treat have all British tanks had since 1945 been equipped with the ability to make in the field?
Oh, okay. I got it.
Okay, so it's pretty easy.
Is this related to Mario?
I don't know.
Okay, I hope.
Pizza?
Mushrooms?
Yeah, it's psychedelic mushrooms.
Jeez, we'll be right back.
All right.
Lock it in and rip the knob off. Red State Talk Radio.
My Parents Open Carry, a pro-gun kids book from White Feather Press. 13-year-old Brenna and her parents spend their day in typical fashion. But what's not so typical is that Brenna's parents lawfully open carry handguns for self-defense. And the Strongs join a growing number of families who are standing up for their Second Amendment right and bringing gun ownership out of the closet. Order your copy of this unique kids book at myparentsopencarry.com.
It's a bumpy ride through the political jungle with Nate and Brian.
Believe me, if I started murdering people, there'd be none of you left.
What?
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 877-219-8770 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 877-219-8770 to take your call now. Call 877-219-8770. That's 877-219-8770. Again, 877-219-8770.
Whenever I'm feeling a little down under, I can always count on Nate and Brian for their interesting perspective on topics important to freedom and civil rights by listening to the At Odds Show. Nate and Brian cover important topics with insight, intelligence, and of course humor. I can always expect a laugh or two. So if you want to be informed and have a great time, give these guys a listen.
At Odds.
The At Odds Show with the greatest political talk show hosts in history, Nate and Brian. And it's sad that they actually believe that. So give a listen because the delusional need love too.
Are you looking for some way cool t-shirts? Check out ChugDug.com. They have hundreds of crazy fun t-shirts like gun, patriotic, and you better believe zombie shirts. At ChugDug.com, you'll find quality shirts at a quality price. All shirts start at just $10 with free shipping over $50. Mention Radio 1 coupon code at checkout and grab a cool 10% off. That's ChugDug.com. T-shirts with attitude.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-755-9290. That's 800-755-9290. 800-755-9290.
Hi, I'm Brian.
And I'm Nate.
If you like the At Odds Show,
and we know you do,
why not order your very own At Odds t-shirt sizes small to 6XL in a cool black color?
So support our show. Check out the great prices at ChugDug.com or head over to our website, atoddshow.com, and click the link.
And unlike listening to our show, you won't be disappointed.
The best part, but we're back.
This is Brian.
I'm Nate.
Welcome to the At Odds Show. We have a trivia question.
With Nate and Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian.
I'm Nate.
All right, so this is the trivia question before the break. Which daily power-up treat have all British tanks since 1945 been equipped with the ability to make? Awkwardly worded question.
Very awkwardly
I didn't write
worded.
it. I stole it.
Awkwardly worded.
But we had some guesses.
We did.
Venison.
Venison was one guess.
No. Dodo eggs.
Foie gras.
Foie gras.
That's hard to say. That was a guess. Pickled bread. I have no idea what the hell that is.
Pickled bread. I've had dill bread.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Is it? Well, maybe that's what they're talking about. I
really
really don't know.
My wife used to make it. She hasn't made it in years, and I don't know why I keep her around.
Yeah. Collard greens.
That's a typical British tank snack. I say, boys, let's power up with some collard greens.
Crumpets. We had the guess.
Crumpets would be good. It could go with crumpets.
Yep. Which, by the way, we looked it up because I had no idea.
What
I mean, crumpets. I don't know what that is. It's British and it sounds little bit too frou-frou for me. I'm still not sure what it is. It looks like a pancake, kind of looks like an English muffin.
You could put butter and jam on it.
Could, like a pancake or an English muffin.
And one might have baking powder and one might have baking soda.
You might have some yeast, and it turns out that English muffins are cooked on both sides and crumpets are cooked only on one, and it's just, you use pancake-type batter, and it's ridiculous. The other guess was tea.
And that, ding, 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 is the answer.
Tea, because...
And
go ahead.
Well, I checked this out because I thought maybe it was a myth. Some of these trivia questions aren't
most of them that we ask are wrong,
right?
And people just walk.
But I
away
looked this
believing.
up, and several sources said yes, it's true, and they still are. They still have them today, and they also have them in manned vehicles, like Humvee type vehicles and stuff. They have it there, and it's not just tea. It can warm water for anything. You can add it to like your rations, food rations, and stuff. You can warm up.
Sure.
You could boil spaghetti or whatever, noodles and stuff. So it's really just a little container, and I'm with our listeners, they can't see my hands, but if they watch the video,
about this big.
It's about as big as like a double toaster. It's actually kind of like a toaster, and it's just a rectangle, like a box. You hook the electric up to the battery power in the tank, turn on the switch, and it heats up water.
Yeah,
I suppose it could heat up rum.
Yeah,
for a hot toddy.
So 1945, right after the war.
Right. That's what they were pissing and moaning. I say, we could have beat the Jerrys a lot quicker if we'd had some tea in our tanks.
Can you imagine the U.S. Marines going back and regrouping? Like, well,
they're debriefing.
Boys,
after the war.
what do you think we could? Well,
we got the Korean War coming up in a few years.
I think if we had some tea, we could have used some tea. I mean,
jolly good. It would have raised our morale.
I drink tea once in a while, but man, it just doesn't. It doesn't scream tank.
And that's why the UK is falling apart.
Yeah. They drink too much tea.
Listen, the American Revolution started with tea.
It really did.
Be their downfall.
It really did.
In another
drink
50
coffee,
years.
please. Ugh.
All right, on this is cool. You like cars. You're not a real big car guy.
No, but
I
have some cars.
You've driven in cars.
I've driven in them.
Yeah, and on this day in 1953, workers at a Chevrolet plant in Flint, Michigan, assembled the first Corvette.
Oh, nice.
Two-seater sports car that would become an American icon. All right, so the idea was originated by designer Harley J. Earl, who in 1951 began developing plans for a low-cost American sports car that could compete with the European MGs, Jaguars, and Ferraris. The project was eventually code-named Opel. I don't know why. Probably his wife's name or something.
Isn't that like a gem?
No, it's spelled different. This is O-P-E-L.
All right.
Took it to the Motorama. How do you like this? The Motorama Auto Show at the Waldorf Astoria in New York City. And it was a big hit. Fiberglass body, yada, yada. 6 cylinders, man. Now they got like 12.
Yeah. What's... oh, you're not done?
Well, I just wanted to say...
They don't have 12.
The name came from the trim fleet naval vessels that performed heroic escort and patrol duties during World War II.
The Corvette.
Were called Corvettes.
Huh. That's interesting.
Really?
It is kind of interesting.
Right.
Well, Opel...
Has it been any...
I don't know if it's related at all. Probably not. Opel is, I think, a German car manufacturer. I think it's German. I did some work for a company that supplied to them.
It was spelled O-P-E-L.
I don't know how it's spelled.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Yep,
maybe,
O-P-E-L.
Maybe
German automobile manufacturer from 1929 until
1953. Corvette.
From 1929 until 2017, Opel was owned by American automaker General Motors. August 2017, it became a subsidiary of French automaker Groupe PSA.
Why would they
Opel vehicles are sold in the United Kingdom under the Vauxhall brand. So that's interesting.
So it'd been around since the 20s, and so why did they use Opel as a code name for a company that was owned by General Motors? Doesn't seem very stealthy.
Yeah, very. Or maybe it was. They thought, oh, Opel, they must be making an English, German, English, French car.
With crumpet seats.
With crumpets, and maybe one of those fancy tea makers.
Oh, I got to have a tea maker.
Huh, interesting.
All right. Well, we got a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, not a lot of time left. Huh?
No, I know it. Supreme Court.
Oh, that's big news.
Upholds the country ban by Trump.
Bigly.
Saying that. Religion wasn't really a part of it, and that the president had powers to. For national security.
Yeah, I mean, basically, they're saying the president had the power to do that, and a single judge in a single district can't overturn an executive order like they did. So,
also,
I think they were right.
Sir, I don't know much about the tax. You want to go into that? So they ruled on that too.
I don't know a whole lot about it either, but they basically ruled that states can force online retailers to collect sales tax if they sell in their state. So, for example, if you own a T-shirt company in, I don't know, Indiana, and you sell online, and somebody in Florida might be a bad, somebody in Texas purchases a T-shirt from you, and you ship it from Indiana to Texas, that Texas can force you to collect sales tax, whatever the Texas sales tax is, according to Texas sales tax law, and then you would have to remit it. You'd have to pay it to Texas
or whatever.
Or whenever
you charge an Indiana tax, so you double tax. That seems unconstitutional.
Depending on Indiana's laws. The problem is for small,
because you're being taxed without representation because you're not a resident of Texas.
Sure, but you're doing business there. I get it. The problem is, who can keep up with sales tax laws in 50 states?
Well, you better be able to, buddy. If you're going to have an online.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't sell online.
No, but I'm saying not you personally, but you, the guy doing it, would have to hire somebody who's an expert in sales tax.
There's platforms, and the platforms will probably handle it, but it's going to cost money. It's ridiculous.
You just get an AI person.
It's ridiculous. An AI person.
IA person. That would be better.
I'm confused.
AI, artificial intelligent person. He could do the sales tax. That's going to Texas. Their sales tax is 3.7%.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. I agree with the ruling, because I think states should kind of be able to do whatever. But
why? They had
it's
nothing to
really
do with
difficult.
Nothing to do with it.
What?
Texas gets all the benefit and puts nothing into it.
No, I get it.
I mean, they could say,
I disagree with taxes,
right?
In general, but
I guess you could say, well, Texas provides the roads that the delivery trucks use to deliver your product to a customer in our state. My roads. I don't know.
Crazy.
Good news is Justice Kennedy has said that he's going to retire.
Good news because he kind of was a liberal.
Yeah. Swing voter.
We won't know. What it means is Trump is going to get to nominate another Supreme Court justice.
If they don't somehow stop him from doing it.
Well, it's going to be, Russian collusion, he can't nominate a Supreme Court justice. He'll be able to. Yeah. Whether that person gets confirmed or not, I mean, that's another question. But that's 2.
Maybe 3.
I mean, Ginsburg is like 85 and a quarter years old or something.
No, don't kid yourself. She is 206 years old. I think she dated Adams.
I don't.
And his son.
Does she talk or ask questions?
I don't think so. I think they have to keep elbowing her to keep.
You
her
ever
awake.
seen Weekend at Bernie's?
Yeah, very much like that.
It's like. I mean, is she okay?
Has she written anything
as
far as an opinion lately?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think she may have.
Probably. Well, somebody wrote it. But yeah, she'll probably be retiring soon
or die.
She's
had some health issues too.
Yeah, so. She has. She may try to stay on until Trump's gone or something. I don't know.
Probably.
Apparently,
I think she's live 8 more years.
I heard total rumor. But I heard that Kennedy had said that he was going to wait for a Republican to retire. Like he had said that previously.
He was going to
wait for a Republican president to retire, because he knew that whenever he retires, the president would get to nominate the next justice.
Not retire, you mean term limited?
Justice Kennedy, I heard, had stated that he wanted to retire, but he was going to wait to have a Republican president to retire.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. We have one, don't we? Sort of.
I think so.
Well,
technically.
Claims he is.
Kind of like Bernie Sanders is a Democrat.
Right. All right. So there could be interesting things there. I was talking to my family about this. They tend to be very liberal.
Should be an interesting story.
It isn't, but I said I don't like Supreme Court decisions that are 5-4. I want a 9-0 or an 8-1. Because I want them to look at the merit of the law and the Constitution.
Of course.
And as scholars, they should come to a consensus on what that means. And when it's split like that, it's always split along ideology.
Of course.
That's appalling to me. I hate that. Get it together.
Of course. And, I mean, I think we have a bigger issue of why do we rely on the Supreme Court so much?
Right. The good news is, just because the Supreme Court decides something, the legislature is always free to change things or better define things or create laws that reflect the faults of whatever they
But we've got to a point
on.
where people are going more crazy about a justice, a single judge retiring, than they care about what Congress does.
Right. Well,
I mean,
what has Congress done?
Well,
lately?
right. That's the problem. That's what we've gotten to. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Liberals are going nuts that Kennedy retired. They're saying they hate him. That dude from Comedy Central said that.
Well, they loved him before.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But the guy from Comedy Central said he wishes this Kennedy had been shot instead of JFK.
That's so clever.
It's
funny.
Civil discourse, Brian. That's what it is.
No, it's freedom of speech.
But what I'm saying is, well, whether it's freedom of speech or not, you can still have civil discourse within freedom of speech.
I don't think you can. I think violence is the answer.
To freedom of speech?
No, I don't know.
Everything.
All my
we
problems.
can try it right now, see if it resolves the show. I bet it would.
we might get 100 views.
We might.
If one of us killed each other. All right. It wouldn't be suicide murder.
Anyway,
murder.
My point is the liberals seem to have forgotten all of the liberal rulings that Kennedy. He's a flip flopper. They just totally forget about all the wins they've had because of him.
Well, that's human nature, I think.
They're just scared of Trump.
Yeah. What else do you want to go? We can do something light.
Like the UN Human Rights Council?
No, like the bear.
Well, the U.S. is withdrawn from the UN Human Rights Council. I think that's great.
Yeah.
I think we should withdraw from...
you have a note there saying, keep withdrawing.
Keep withdrawing. Of the entire UN.
Right.
And kick it the hell out of New York.
I know what you meant.
That would be great. I'd love it. All right, what? A bear? We have like a minute and a half or something.
Apparently a bear somehow got into a car, destroyed it so bad that the locks and the doors couldn't be opened because the person was outside trying to open it with a remote. So the police came.
To get the bear out?
To get the bear. He's in there going nuts. He doesn't like being in there.
Yeah, right. How did he get in?
Foreign car. The bears apparently have developed opposable thumbs now and can open doors.
Oh, no. And we're worried about robots.
I don't know.
They can only open them from the outside, though.
Right. Apparently, they're screwed once they get inside. I think if they have a problem bear, they could use cars as bear traps.
There you go. Just set it there.
Put a bag of Doritos there. And you'll be all
that's a good idea.
Anyways, a cop had to come up there and very quickly, as he scampered away, tried to break the window, broke the back window, and boy, did that bear come tearing out of there. And the cop went running that way, and the bear went running right after the cop.
Oh, really?
And then it was off camera.
Was the bear carrying a picnic basket?
It was Yogi.
We've got like 40 seconds if you want to talk about...
I could do a joke.
Murder or something. There was another shooting.
Did you hear about the horse won the Triple Crown, Justified?
No.
Well, yeah, the horse won the Triple Crown, racehorse.
I heard about that.
His name's Justified, and he was invited to the White House, and he refused to go. He said, "Listen, if I wanted to see a horse's ass, I would have come in second."
Hilarious.
Yeah, zing zong zong.
That's funny.
It's kind of funny. Was that it? Are we out of time yet?
Nope. This is the last few awkward seconds.
Okay.
All right. See you next week.
British tanks.
See you next week.
Bye bye.